Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, listen, uh, there's a video out there in Spanish. It's called pozo. Pozo means well, like a water well, and it's to help you understand an analogy of a core, um, and how the length of the core has a lot to do with how much production you're going to get out of your coil. So, with that in mind, I'd like to kind of translate the Spanish version into English so that you guys can kind of go along with it. Anyways, as you can see, the cores have not changed. The coils have not changed since the 1830s. It's still kind of the same uh, telegraph type coil. You have a little thin core and a lot of wire wound around it, kind of like the Bedini coil here. And that's fine if you're wanting to make a pulse motor, because what it does, it concentrates all the magnetic energy into a little focal spot. So when you get ready to use it as a motor, like a pulse motor, concentrates all that magnetic energy into one pulse, kind of like an impact driver, kind of like that. So that's neat for if you're wanting to create a motor. But what we want to do is we want to create a generator that produces a lot of electricity. So let's start with that. Let's start with the coil. Let's say we have two coils and the same number of windings. One is kind of short, stubby. One has a core that's about 3 times as long. Same amount of wire on each of them. So my question to you is, which one of the two is going to produce more electrical energy? We're not talking about magnetic energy. Which one's going to produce more electrical energy? So I want you to ponder that for a minute, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, thank you. Okay, now that we're back, um, we need to take a look at Faraday's law of induction and really look into it. Um, it tells you that uh, it's a balance between the strength of the magnet, the number of turns in your coil, and the time. Let's say, for example, if you can see the formula right now, let's say the time is 1 second and you're getting 3 volts out of your coil. You want to increase it by 10. What do you need to do? Instead of 1 second, let's say that you decrease this to a tenth of a second. 1/10. What does that do to your equation? It multiplies it by 10. So now you have 30 volts going on only because you reduced the speed uh, to 1/10 of a second. So basically, you increased the speed of the magnet. So that's what you have to do to increase tenfold. Okay. Um, Another thing that it tells you has to do with change in magnetic flux. That magnetic flux is what's going through your coil, going through your core, I mean. So if you can increase your core, you're going to increase the magnetic flux that will go through it. So let's take an example of uh, uh, a water pump. And let's say the water is the magnetic flux. And you have two wells, okay? That's the pozo. The two wells. One is kind of like a short well and one is a long well. So you turn on your water pump. How long will it take for that short well to fill up? In a matter of seconds, it's going to fill up. And if you compare it to the well that's deep, it's going to take a lot longer to fill up. So there's more movement of magnetic energy through the coil. A lot more magnetic energy has to go through that coil before it fills up. Because once it stagnates, once there's no movement, you don't produce electricity. There has to be movement according to the law of induction. There has to be movement. Without movement, there is no production. So if you have a little stubby core like this, how long will it take for it to fill up in magnetism? Not very long, a tenth of a second maybe. How about one that has a long core? It's going to take longer. And it's going to produce more because there's more flow going through your coil. Okay, so that's an analogy that I wanted to bring about to you. That if you have a longer core, you're going to produce more electricity. Given that all the other factors are the same, you're going to produce more electricity. And by the way, I have a proof of that. In the description, I have a video I made about 10 years ago that shows that all I did in that video is I placed an extra core onto my production coil, and that motor sped up like crazy. That's all I did. Didn't change anything. Didn't change the speed. Didn't change the number of windings. All I did was I added a ferrite to make it longer, and that thing sped up. So I have proof. So what I'm saying is because I've done bench tests. Okay, it's not me sitting behind a computer. I do the bench test. I go out there and do it. So you see my bedroom here and everything, but I'm out there in the day doing the bench tests, doing the kind of like the work that you would be doing to find out things. So that's what I do. Anyway, long story short, you have two cores. One is longer, same number of windings. The longer one is going to give you more production. Okay, that's what it's all about. So you understand why it gives you more production. All right. And that way, when you're building your generator, hopefully a lens-free generator, you'll know how to do it, and you'll know how to produce more electricity. All right, guys. Thank you.